And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara podcast. Here's Jeff.
My guest is Sean, founder of Love, Light, and Unity, whose mission is to help humanity navigate their journey to the fifth density. He channels Source, any deity, archangel, ascended, or cosmic master, galactic council, or collective, and to this date has channeled over 300 species of interdimensional beings. Sean, thanks for joining me and welcome.
My pleasure, Jeff. Thank you for having me today.
How did you get into all this stuff, and especially how did you start channeling?
From the day I was brought into this world, I had my abilities, but at a really young age, I turned them off at 11 due to negative energies and entities messing with me. And when I went to my parents about it, my mother just told me I had an overactive imagination and that stuff wasn't real. And so somehow I was able to turn it off. And then throughout my young life, I would have events that would occur that would freak me out. I wouldn't understand it. And then a little over a year ago, while listening to a light language transmission on YouTube through this beautiful soul, her name's Alia, she's in France. It was a 23-minute and like 30-second video. I started watching it one Saturday after work, and 3 minutes into it, my toes started vibrating. And it was basically like the chills times 5. And as it moved up my body, I had a mohawk at the time and it wasn't standing up that day. And by the time it got to my crown chakra, my mohawk was standing up and it was like the chills times 10. It literally felt like I was getting electrocuted. And about 4 months before that had occurred, I had bought some copper dowsing rods to try to connect with spirit, and had absolutely no luck. They wouldn't move at all. No connection. And then after that video, this voice in my head, just as loud as we're talking right now, said, "Go get your rods, go in your backyard, sit next to your tree and connect with the tree." And so I grabbed my rods, went outside, sat next to the tree, and said, "Tree connected." Those rods crossed and had a 3-hour conversation with the tree. He introduced me to Mother Earth. Mother Earth introduced me to all the elements, and it started from there. And the following day, I started connecting with the Ascended Masters that were watching over me, and there were 32 of them, and it started from there.
It's amazing by just watching a YouTube video that you were activated and these abilities turned on for you.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't expected. I knew light language had the ability to activate people. I had been watching light language for probably 4 years, different videos, and not ever expecting anything to happen, just literally having this yearning to be able to speak it and understand it. And Alia was the first beautiful soul that I came across that she could actually speak and interpret it and understand it. And she's also a seer. So when I came across her at the time, I was really excited. And yeah, and then it was shortly after discovering her channel that I got the activation. And it was about 4 months after that, I reached out and contacted her and let her know, what her video had done. And we did a Zoom call, and she was like, wow, I had no clue that my light language had this ability to activate people. And so, yeah, it was divine timing. I was meant to find her at that time. And it was meant to activate me, because what I know now is I was never supposed to shut my abilities off when I was 11. Then so when they came back on, and I just wasn't able to channel the way I do now in the beginning. It was like when you're learning to type. I was pecking. It was no smooth motion. I was having to use the rods when an ascended master would come through. I would have to be like, okay, what letter does your name start with? And then I would go down the alphabet, and when I would get to their first letter, the rods would cross, and then I would have to pull up all the archangels that started with the letter B, and then go through those, and they'd be like, yes, this is who I am. So it was really crude in the beginning. Now it's to the point to where they can actually embody me, look through my eyes, speak their ancient language. I translate it in my head. I can think the answer in English, and then I speak the answer in their language. So it's come very far with my abilities to channel. And they tell me the next progression, once my frequency is high enough, I will actually be able to look through their eyes. That's the next version of my channeling. So I'm really excited for that to come.
Well, what makes you different from all the other channels and mediums?
I asked them that many times, and they constantly tell me it's because of my past incarnations. And I've had just under 3,000 incarnations, and I know of 270 of them so far. It's because who I was in past lives, from different deities that I've been, to these different extraterrestrial races. And most of the time, I was very high-ranking members in those societies. And so that's why I have the innate ability to connect with absolutely anything and everything. There's not one thing I cannot connect with. As long as it's energy, frequency, and vibration, which everything is, it's made of, I'm able to connect with it. So that sets me apart. Everybody has the ability to connect with something. Some can just connect with more than others. And so I just have the ability to connect with everything. And it took a lot to come to terms with that. Because I question that. I'm like, why do I have these abilities? How come it's me? They're like, this is who you are. Accept it. So it's been a wild ride the last year.
Well, did you ever doubt it? And if so, how did you overcome that?
Well, when I first started channeling, and when I first started hearing their voices clear, very clear, Yeshua came to me, aka Jesus. And so I grew up extremely religious. My dad's side of the family are strict Southern Baptists. My mom's side of the family, strict Irish Catholics. And then my first wife was Jewish. But I never believed in organized religion. So when Yeshua started channeling me, I'm like, I've got questions. I've got a lot of questions. And then about 3 months into that, I'm like, okay, I need you to put somebody in my life that is going to validate everything that's happening to me, because I need to know I'm not crazy. Because I literally started questioning it, because I'm having these in-depth conversations and hearing voices just like you and I are talking. And I'm like, there's a chance I might be crazy. And people around me, my family, my friends, my clients, they're like, you might need to talk to somebody. And so I went to Yeshua and I was like, hey, I need you to put somebody in my life that can validate this. And so I've got a Galaxy Fold flip phone. He goes, open your phone and just type in mediums. And I did. And this beautiful soul by the name of Tammy Holmes pops up. And he's like, you contact her and she will validate everything for you. And she literally lived like 5 miles from me. And she's been in this industry for over 40 years. She's actually worked with many law enforcement agencies to find missing people, missing bodies, solve murders. So she's credible. I reached out to her and she's like, I can do a phone conversation with you in a week. That week came, and she's like, so do you want to know about your love life, your this, that? And I'm like, Tammy, no. I'm like, my abilities have turned on, and I need to know I'm not crazy. And she's a seer. And so she's like, okay, let me tap in. So she taps in, and she's like, her first words to me, she's like, holy crap, Sean, do not forget me. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, you are in for the ride of your life. And she's like, Yeshua's here with me, and he's showing me everything that you're going to do, accomplish, in every place you're going. And she goes, and in the next 8 years, you're writing 8 books. And I'm like, okay, time out right there. I'm like, Tammy, I'm highly dyslexic. And I literally have like a seventh grade reading comprehension because of my dyslexia. And she goes, oh, you're not writing these books. You're going to start automatic writing on September 1st of last year. And Yeshua is going to help you write these books. And I'm like, what the hell is automatic writing? She goes, that's when you channel a being or an entity. And sometimes it's in a trance state, and other times you know what you're writing, and other times you don't till after you're done and you read it. Well, I now have over 300 transcripts and 100 hours of recordings on my cloud AI recorder. Um, and yeah, it was crazy. So she validated that I'm not insane. These voices are real. All these entities that I'm connecting to, from from Babaji to Yogananda, Yeshua, Merlin, Zeus, like all these people, and some of them I'm more than connected to. So it's been a really crazy ride, and it just keeps getting crazier because the higher my vibrational frequency rises, the higher dimensional beings that I can connect with. And so it's been pretty awesome so far.
Do you ever find that if you're not careful, you'll start channeling negative entities?
Oh yeah, I've had the devil come through. Yeah, it's real. The devil, Satan, and Lucifer, three different people. And yeah, they're out there. And a lot of negative extraterrestrials. They will, when I'm channeling, they will actually send disruptive signals to knock me out of that frequency. So yeah, it's real. They're out there. And the stronger your frequency becomes, the higher you're vibrating. Basically, the brighter your light is shining, and the dark sees you more. And as you get stronger, they send stronger entities after you. And there was a time recently, 5 months ago, the archangels could no longer protect me. And at 1:30 in the morning, I'm laying in bed, and I've got 3 French bulldogs, and I've got stairs that go up onto the bed so they can get up on the bed. And I hear the sound like they're getting up on the bed, and I look up, and they're all three sleeping next to me. And then all of a sudden, I sensed evil in the room. And I surround myself with protection, and my bed starts moving 6 inches each direction. And that's what happened to me in my childhood. I wasn't afraid. It pissed me off. So I was able to clear those evil entities that were in the room, and I channeled in Archangel Michael and a couple others, and I'm like, look, what happened here? And they're like, they sent in ones that are more powerful than us. So tomorrow we're sending you somebody new to protect you. And when that happened the next morning during my morning meditation, all of a sudden in my third eye, this giant white eagle appears. And I hear this Native American voice introduce himself. And I'm like, who are you? And he's like, I'm White Eagle. And I'm like, are you an archangel? He goes, no, I'm a cosmic master. I'm the next step above. He goes, I will be with you for the rest of this incarnation, keeping you protected. And I sat and had a 3-hour conversation with him. And during that conversation, I'm like, were you ever incarnated? And he goes, look me up. And so I Googled him, and his picture popped up. He actually lived to be, he crossed over in 1849, and his tribe is in Santa Fe. And it was really funny because that is one of the places that my beloved and I are being led to go do some work is in Santa Fe. And so, yeah, I now have contact with him multiple times a day. Yeah, so as your vibrational frequency rises, the stronger dense entities come after you. And yeah, it's constantly protecting yourself. They're out there. This being of, always channeling, the light, you got to keep yourself protected. And they will come through if you don't.
Well, tell us about this shift into the fifth density and what that means for humanity.
One of the things that they've showed me, and that has recently occurred, was you've heard so many stories about how the Earth is going to split in two, and there's going to be the lower density and the higher density and everything, and there's going to be this big flash of light, and it's going to be utopia and heaven on earth. That's not what occurred. On August 12th at 12:12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and in northern Arizona, my beloved and I were sent up there. Well, before I talk about that, let's fast forward or go back a couple months before that actually date happened. They started sending my beloved and I to different locations throughout Arizona, from Sedona to Yuma and all over. And these were ancient sites that they sent us to. And my beloved, she's an energy worker also. And we were sent to all, most of them were ancient Indian ruins. And one that we went up to, Sunset Crater in Flagstaff, Arizona. And we were about 40 miles north of Sunset Crater, and literally, like, they're leading us. She drives all the time because they'll embody me. They're telling us, go straight for 30 miles, take a right, and the next thing we know, we're at this ancient village and ruins, and we go to this courtyard, and we start to proceed doing a 1 hour ceremony. And the ancient medicine men and the chiefs that had been there 1,200 years ago had all come in, and we were activating new codes for the ley lines. We were putting in new light codes, and we were setting in new codes for the crystalline grid. And this went on for quite a few months. Every weekend, they would send us someplace. And at the time they sent us to Sunset Crater, when we got there, I realized, I'm like, we're on the side of a volcano. And my wife's like, yeah. And that morning I had looked at that time, at that date, there were 75 volcanoes erupting on Mother Earth at that time, causing destruction. And I'm like, okay, we're on the side of a volcano. And I told her what was going on. And White Eagle, he goes, that's why you're here. You are balancing out the vibrational frequencies of the ley lines that this volcano's on. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, you have to stabilize it. So I'm like, how are we doing that? They're like, just go there, go to the location we're sending you to, and we will come through you and do everything that needs to be done. So basically, everything that I do and my beloved does, we're just vessels for them. They're doing all the work. We're conduits for it. And so we go to these Indian runs, and it's this small village. And the next thing I know, White Eagle embodies me. The chiefs, the medicine men come in. I'm actually speaking this ancient Hopi language. My wife, her arms start moving. She's doing all her energy work. She's surrounding us with protection. And an hour later, we're done. And they're like, okay, go about the rest of your day. It was that simple. And then the following weekend, they led us to Yuma, Arizona, to an ancient site called Painted Rock. And we didn't realize till we got there, or got close to it, that it also is a volcano. And so we basically did the same thing at that location. But what was different with that location, on the way to Yuma, my wife's driving, and all of a sudden I get embodied by this ancient serpent. And it voice coming out of me sounds like a snake, and I start translating its language, and the 18-wheeler in front of us turns into this 300-foot snake that is, 15 feet wide and 10 feet tall. And it introduces itself and says that we have awoken him, and there are 40 others like him under the Painted Rock area. It's a sacred portal that's been there since the beginning of time. And so when we got to the Painted Rock during that ceremony, those serpents were coming through and creating the ceremony that we were doing, and their energies were ancient. It was some of the most unbelievable energies that I've processed so far through a being, and I've had some pretty crazy ones come through me. So, yeah, it's that started, and every weekend it was probably 6, 7 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. We would go do these ceremonies and setting in the new frequencies, adjusting the ley lines, bringing in new light codes, and then on August 12th, that morning, they're like, you're going to go to Montezuma's Well in northern Arizona. And so we go there and we park, and they lead us to this stream, and we start feeling all these energies coming in around us. And it was the fairies came in, the elementals, the gnomes, the elves, the energies of the water and the earth and the air, like all the elements were coming in. And then there were tens of thousands of beings and entities that we felt around us. And we started speaking these ancient languages, performing these ceremonies. And 2 hours later, they informed us that the new frequency for 5D Earth had been activated. And I literally said out loud, I'm like, where's the flash? And Source started laughing, and it's like, you humans, you always need a grand finale. And I'm like, but where's the flash of light? He goes, the flash wasn't light. It was a frequency that set forth the new frequencies and light codes and the crystalline grid. Now the real work begins. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, now humanity is vibrating in the fifth density frequency. Now it's time for humanity to build the new earth, to bring forth this new frequency, bring forth the second coming of Christ. And the second coming of Christ is the frequency of Christ within us, bringing it out into humanity. And I literally just was bawling. It was the most beautiful experience ever. And he's like, this is why you're here. You are to help lead humanity with what is to be done. We all possess abilities, telepathy, telekinesis, levitation. We have all this within us. And they're like, now the real work begins. You all possess the frequencies, the vibrations within you. You're resonating in those frequencies and vibrations. And now it's time to do the work. So that's the mission that my beloved and I are on. And there's those that this resonates with, and there's those that don't. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. It's I only talk about what's happened to my beloved and I. Um, I don't just regurgitate information that I hear. And we've been led to many individuals to help them with their ascension and their awakening because they're also here to help humanity. Um, that's kind of been the thing that I learned about 8 months ago is I've been led to 27 different individuals in the last 8 months. And to help them through their ascension, so that they can then get to the point they need to help more people and with the work they're doing. And literally, um, White Eagle and other deities will tell me to go to this metaphysical store. And I'm like, okay, why am I going there? They're like, something's going to transpire with somebody you meet there. And I go there, and the next thing I know, something unbelievable happens. I meet the owner. The next thing I know, I'm doing a karma clearing for them and helping them through the initiation that they're going through at the time with their ascension. Um, and it's just been one incident after another, in spreading this frequency moving forward, helping people out.
How does channeling work for you? Are you a trance channel or are you witnessing what's going on?
No, I'm witnessing what's going on. In the beginning, in the very beginning, it was more of a trance channel. I was aware of something that was going on, but not remembering what was said. So I was always recording it so I could, understand what happened. Um, it has progressed tenfold. Um, I am now able to have that entity or being embody me. They can look through my eyes and see everything that I'm seeing. Um, they will speak to me in their native tongue, whether it be a version of light language or the ancient language of the gods. They will speak through me, and then when they're done speaking, I'll out loud say, translate, please, and then I'll translate it into English. And then I can think what I want to say in English and speak it in their language, and I can carry on a conversation within myself with them now, or anybody around me can. So yeah, it's really progressed. They tell me that the next version of my channeling will be to where I'm able to embody them also and see through their eyes.
Hmm.
So it's going to get even crazier, and I'm really excited for that to happen because I don't know anybody that's doing that, and if there is, I want to I want to talk to them about it and see how they experienced it. But yeah, but yeah, right now my channeling, I'm totally conscious. I know what's being said. I can carry on a conversation with them out loud. So yeah, it's progressed leaps and bounds.
Is anybody there that might want to come through today to do some
Um,
channeling?
Yeah, we can. I'm connected all the time. They're always here. Unorakatae shirorokore orakate yorokuri shakuntorika okaita norurukutai. Translate, please. Good day, Jeff. Thank you for having us come through today. You may ask any questions you feel appropriate at this time.
Do you have access to the near future? And if you do, can you reveal to us what's coming and if we should get prepared for it?
There are many things we can talk about today, but they will be more vague. So we are about expressing to humanity what needs to be done at this time with their new frequencies that they hold within, teaching them how to bring forth what they want to experience in this incarnation. That will allow them to create their future. Nothing is ever set in stone. It varies on the decisions and paths you choose to take. All lead to the same destination. Some roads are just shorter than others.
Do you have any information about the interstellar object that's coming toward us called 3I Atlas?
Oh, yes. That interstellar object is here to activate more frequencies for planet Earth to help activate those who are in lower frequencies to help them with their ascension process. It is here for the better of humanity, and there are many more out there to come. This is sent by the tyrants with love. Do not be afraid of what is to come. We are here to help.
Do you know when we will be invited into the Galactic Federation out there and when ETs will be walking among us here on Earth?
Translate, please. Disclosure comes very soon. That is why the frequencies are being projected onto your planet at this time. What humanity needs to understand is everything is vibration and frequency. We must raise the frequency of humanity so that they can be in the presence of these other souls that are from the stars. They resonate so much higher than humanity does. They must bring down their frequency, but humanity must raise theirs so that there is no harm when they are in each other's presence. That is what we are in the process of doing with this medium we are coming through now. We have been integrating his frequency with over 300 different extraterrestrial races at this time, sometimes 10 to 15 a day, getting him used and adapted to their frequencies so that he is able to work amongst them all. You see, some of you will be called upon to be liaisons between humanity and extraterrestrials when the time comes. And there are those of you out there who are going through exactly what this beautiful soul, Sean, is going through at this time. And so it is all frequency and vibration. Disclosure comes soon. What will occur is the extraterrestrials that you know as Pleiadians will come down first because they look exactly like you, so that it will be less of a shock to the world you live in. And over time, when humanity gets acclimated and the excitement settles down, then they will bring forth the hybrids and introduce humanity into them. It could take anywhere from 6 months to a year, is what we're predicting, for the citizens to become acclimated with being around these individuals. After the frequencies get acclimated and adjusted with the hybrids, then the so-called extraterrestrials that look nothing like humans will be introduced to humanity. So there is every shape, size, and color that you could imagine out there. There are trillions of extraterrestrial races just in your universe. And think about this, there are trillions of universes out there. You soon will be members of the Galactic Federation. We will walk amongst you very, very soon, for the frequencies are rising daily through the work that individuals are doing, bringing forth frequencies and light codes to all.
Can you give us some tips on how to raise our frequency?
Yes. First, everything is within you to do so. You must first become one and love yourself unconditionally. For when you have true love for yourself, you then can extrude the frequency of love onto others. And how do you find true love for yourself? You bring love for the light and the dark within you. Humanity always tries to hide the dark within. You must love the dark within yourself as much as you love the light, and bring them together as one. When you do that, you project love in a frequency like never before. Through meditation and breath work is how this is achieved. Bring this into your morning routine. Many of you watching this already do, but there are those of you who this will be the first time experiencing something like this. This will raise your frequency. Resonate everything with love. Have love in everything you see, for everything you see. That is the beginning steps of raising your frequency.
How do we clear our karmic accounts?
There are certain individuals on your planet that have the ability to clear your karma for you. Karma is past, present, future, and generational. That is one of the abilities that this soul possesses that I am talking through right now. Karma is an energy. Karma is an energy blockage. Those blockages can be released so that the energy flows smoothly throughout one's life and incarnation. There is a specific procedure that this vessel uses for his techniques. But each individual can create their own version if they possess the ability to do so. Take some water, that one.
How does it feel when these entities are embodying you?
There's usually an intensity in a lot, sometimes all the chakras, with that being that was just coming through. It was literally in my soul seat, which is right below the throat chakra, and it's really intense. Like some of their, his voice was really causing some irritation. Some of them, when they speak through me, they speak on the exhale, and that's really. And then there's like popping and clickings that happen inside uh, the esophagus, and it can be really painful at times. That's why I always keep a lot of throat lozenges and water around when I'm channeling, because not only is the energies can be intense, but just their voice itself. I've gotten used to processing most of their energies, but there are individuals that come through that are so high vibration that like I'll start shaking, and it really wipes me out. Like last week when the collective of 12 archangels that's known as Theo, when they came through, it was actually my beloved and I were laying in bed watching Gaia, and Sheila Gillette was channeling them, and as soon as she started channeling them, I started shaking violently, and they were adapting their frequency to my frequency, and I literally was just like, for like 3 minutes, uncontrollable. And then once the frequencies connected and interlocked, then they started channeling through me. So each one's completely different, but it could be pretty extreme sometimes.
Are you aware of who the different beings were that or are that you just channeled? Because it sounded like there was about 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, they the first ones that came through, That was part of the Theo Collective. And then one was a Syrian, and the last one that just came through, I've actually never connected with him before, and he didn't give me a vision in my third eye. 'Cause usually they'll give me a vision in my third eye, and I'll see what they look like and everything. So sometimes they just pop through, and it's just an energy that I feel, and then boom, they're gone. So, because I don't put any boundaries on my channeling. Um, so like a lot of channelers have some pretty strict regulations and everything with who they'll channel and how they'll channel. Um, I want to experience everything, so I'm open, and so they just pop in and out, boom, boom, boom. I've channeled 13 to 15 different beings in the matter of 10 minutes, coming through giving messages. Yeah, so a lot of times they don't take the time to say who they are, introduce themselves. They just got a message that they want to send or get out. And so it's like they literally, I'll see a line of like extraterrestrials, and it's just boom, 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 one after another. When With what the the Syrian was talking about with being a liaison with between humanity and the extraterrestrials after disclosure. Um, the first time I was told about that, um, I was on a Zoom call and with the girl on the East Coast, and all of a sudden this extraterrestrial comes into me, and I start clicking and making sounds just like a dolphin. And it lasted about 20 seconds. I was shaking, and then boom, I popped out of it, and she was like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "That literally was an 8 foot tall extraterrestrial dolphin." And I saw a vision of him. He had arms and legs, but he was an 8 foot tall dolphin, and his energy was so intense that he could only come into me for that 20 seconds. And then the next night it happened again, and it lasted for just under a minute. And then the third night it happened, and when he came through, he actually spoke English to me, and he introduced himself. His name's Dalnix, and he works for the Galactic Federation in this department. Um, and I was like, "What has been going on the last, 2 nights, 3 nights?" And he's like, "I've had to acclimate you to my energy because my energy is so high." He goes, "If I would have come through you and talked to you like I am now, the first night, you actually would have been harmed physically because of the frequency so high." He goes, "Now you're acclimated to those frequencies." And he goes, "And I learned English." He goes, "I've never spoke English before, so it took me 2 days to learn English." And he started telling me about he is going to start bringing through 10 to 15 extraterrestrials a day to acclimate me to their frequencies. And I'm like, "Why is this?" And he goes, "Because you're going to be working face to face with these extraterrestrials as a liaison between humanity and the extraterrestrials." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And so that was like 3, 4 months ago that started. And I think it's right around or just at 300 different extraterrestrial races that have channeled through me now. And recently, they woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and led me to a gentleman and told me to get a hold of him who had a Facebook ad that was up. And so I reached out to him, and we were on a Zoom call, and we're talking about extraterrestrials, and he goes, "You're led to me because you're going to be one of the liaisons." And I had said nothing to him about the liaison, and I'm like, "How do you know?" He goes, "Because I'm being prepared for it too." He's like, "That's why they led us together, and now we need to start bringing people together." And that is one of the main reasons they're having me talk about it now, because there's others out there that are being prepared just like Ryan and I are. There's thousands of us out there that are going to have this position to work between humanity and these extraterrestrials. Because with what's going to transpire now that these fifth density frequencies are here, It's time to shape this world the way it was meant to be shaped. Um, Heaven on earth is possible. The golden age is here. It just needs to be built. So it is merging everything together, and they're not here to save us. They're here to give us the tools to save ourselves. So they have the technology for us to clean up our oceans, to clean up our air, to clean up our soil, to grow food that is healthy and not poison. So all these different things, they're going to give us what we need, and then we have to take it upon ourselves to do it. We've destroyed this planet enough. It's time to fix it, and we've got the tools to do it now.
Let's check in real quick and see if any of one of these beings has a message for humanity.
Okay. Cool. Oh. Translate, please. The message that we have for humanity is to resonate and find the love in everything you do. For when you resonate in that vibrational frequency, it brings you joy and excitement with everything around you. Therefore, spreading the light to those amongst you, by doing that, humanity will unfold a new world waiting to be experienced all around you. Learn to find happiness within yourself. Everything resides within you. Source put everything you need inside you. Every answer you look for lies within. Dig deep. Once you reside with happiness within yourself, you will experience life how it was meant to be. Do not focus on the destruction and the chaos around you. Focus on changing the little things in your life at first. For the smallest changes in your routine will break free of the monotonous things you do throughout the day that keep you in that lower vibrational frequency. One change in your routine will raise the frequency and lead you down a new path. Do not look on the outside around you for your happiness. Look within you. Within you lies everything you seek. The universe lies within you. The love lies within you. The happiness you seek so bad lies within you. We are here to guide you. We are here to help you along the way. Do not be afraid of what is to come. The new world awaits you. Create it. Let it become what you desire, for the change is within.
Who am I speaking with right now?
Translate, please. We are collective, known as the ancients by the vessel that we speak through now. We are at source level. We have been here since the beginning of time. We help oversee all in this ether. He is one of the few that can connect with us. He can process our frequencies without harm. We seldom come through, but this is a momentous and grand occasion, getting this message out to humanity. Yeah, so those are the ancients. There's actually 100 of them in this collective. Um, they started coming through like 5 weeks ago. Um, after, well, it was right after the frequencies were activated and set in for the fifth density. They started coming through and said that they will come through when needed. That's like the fourth time in 5 or 6 weeks that they've come through. So they don't come through often. Um, they they're like, we'll be around when we're needed. Um, um,
How many ETs do you think are in Earth orbit right now?
are millions. Um, there's a mothership that is docked over the Indian Ocean right now. Uh, that is 300 miles long and 50 miles high. And there are millions, millions of extraterrestrials on there, and there are thousands of different extraterrestrial races on there. Um, how I know that, 2 months ago, there was an extraterrestrial that embodied me, and when he did, I get a picture of him, and he's this 13-foot tall. He's blue. His skin is like snake scales, okay, but he's got four tentacles for arms. And they're not like tentacles of an octopus with suction cups or anything. They're just four tentacles. And when he came through and I asked him his name, it hurt so bad when I pronounced it, I almost started throwing up. And I had asked him where he comes from, and he's like, he's like, he goes, I'm going to make it easy. He goes, I'm so far away. He goes, I am 2 universes to the left of yours. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, so being that I can't pronounce your name, I give them all nicknames. And so he's 2 to the left. And so whenever I wanted to talk with him, I just think 2 to the left and he comes through. And yeah, so because a lot of these names, like they're painful to pronounce and everything. And so I give them all nicknames. There's a new one that came through just a couple days ago. It's an extraterrestrial race that is actually inside Mount Shasta. And I call him Shasta, so because it's so hard for me to pronounce these names and everything. I'm like, okay, everybody gets nicknames. So yeah, there are millions of extraterrestrials in low Earth orbit right now. They're just waiting for all this to play out.
Do you have to set up boundaries? Because if you don't, they'll just be coming in all the time.
Oh no, they come in all the time. Yeah, I allow it to happen. I've got some crazy funny stories. Like I said, my beloved Heather, I have her drive all the time, because they will embody me when we're driving, and I, for some reason, I will just pull souls or entities into me without knowing I'm doing it. It's like when Ozzy Osbourne crossed over the morning that they announced his crossing. It's like 5:30 in the morning. I'm having my coffee and I get on Insta, and the first thing that popped up was Ozzy's picture. It said "Rest in peace," and his song "Mama, I'm Coming Home" is on, and he literally gets sucked into me, and he's looking through my eyes, and he's like, "Where the F am I?" And I start laughing. And the minute that they embody me, they know everything about me. They know what I'm doing and everything. And I'm like, "Hey, Ozzy." And I know a lot of musicians that have crossed over. And so when Ozzy did that, I'm like, "Oh, Ozzy, is Chester there with you?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "So Chris is there with you?" "Yeah." And then Johnny Cash comes in and Waylon Jennings. And so I'm like, "Well, welcome to the band." And so he's like, "How is this happening?" And I'm like, I don't know how it happens. I just have this ability, but sometimes when I see something, it embodies me. And so the point to the story is, after a week after that had happened, Ozzy's song comes on the radio when my wife and I are driving. That song "Mama, I'm Coming Home" comes on, and extraterrestrial embodies me, starts singing that song in their language, and then Ozzy starts hysterically laughing inside me. And my wife actually pulled over. She's like, "What the hell is going on here?" So, I mean, some of them are hysterical. Like, I'm like, what the hell's going on? They're like, "We don't have music in our planet, and we love your guys' music, and Ozzy's one of our favorites." And so it knew that I had the ability to do that. So it took the chance, it embodied me, started singing this song out loud, belting out as loud as it can. Ozzy's hysterically laughing. And then, yeah, there's all kinds of crazy things like that have happened. It's pretty comical sometimes.
Do you have a YouTube channel or a website where people can find out more about what you're up to?
Yes. They can go to lovelightandunitygroup.com. And then on Insta also, Love Light and Unity Group. And the YouTube is Love Light and Unity Group 1, I believe it is. And YouTube, I don't have too many videos on there. That's on the newer side. My Insta, I have quite a few channeling sessions on there. Quite a few different clearings that I've done with karma and different things. So yeah, they can go to lovelightandunitygroup.com and see everything that we do on there.
If people want to ask you questions, do you have a contact form on your website, or should they just leave a comment on a video?
They do, and they could actually go to Sean at lovelightandunitygroup.com. That's my email. and they can reach out, and I'm willing to help. I mean, that's why I'm here for. That's my mission. That's my wife's mission, and we are here to help those who are going through what we've already gone through, and have questions. Oh, it's we're excited for this mission, and things are changing, and it's up to us to do it. We now have the frequencies and the vibrations to do it, and it just now the work begins.
Sean, before we finish up, can you leave us with a last positive message?
Experience love with everything you do. Find what excites you most and do it till it doesn't excite you anymore. And then move on to the next thing that excites you. That is what life is all about, is finding what ignites that fire within you, and you ride that out till the fire goes out. And then once that fire is no longer there, find the next thing that excites you and ride that, because this life is all about lessons learned. So make them joyful, make them exciting, make it inspirational, you know? So if you live life doing what excites you, you'll have the best life in the world. You really will.
Sean, thank you for your message, and thank you for being my guest.
Jeff, thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate you. I respect everything you do, and I have deep appreciation. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching the JeffMara podcast. I really appreciate you. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. And if you do, there are loyalty badges and other perks depending on your level of membership. All you need to do is click the join button underneath the video to find out more. Thank you for your support.